You wouldn't know just by looking at her that there's something quite unusual about Marsha Mayerling. It isn't the fact that she's very attractive, which of course she is. So attractive, in fact, that she makes a very good living as a professional model. And you've probably met her in some of our very best magazines. Nor is it that she has such an evident zest for life, though she has, as you can see from her shining eyes that mirror the clear spring sky. Nor even that she so thoroughly likes people, although she does, as you can tell from her quick response to their pleasures and to their tales of woe. It's none of these that sets Marsha so apart from her fellows. It's simply that Marsha...
What the heck's the matter with you? Are you deaf?
Yes, I am.
I do not have to tell you that you're looking in on a child's world. It is a facility we humans have to build a world to meet our needs. Mark that idea well, for it is the text of our story. I do not have to tell you that these are healthy, happy children, that there is gaiety and color and beauty in their lives, that there is companionship, a spirit of playing and getting along together. Nor do I have to tell you that there is a love of children in this room. You can see all that in the smiling faces, in the sparkling eyes. But I do have to tell you that these children are deaf. Otherwise, you might not know it. So that for them, learning to live with their deafness is not their major problem. We are, you and I, and the world we have built around us. A world in which sound plays so dominant a part. Our days are a tapestry of sound. Signal sounds and warning sounds that propel us from hour to hour, from activity to activity. Our cultures and recreations are buttressed by sound in a dozen fields, in a score of different ways. But above and beyond all else, sound is the substance of our communication. We have built almost the whole structure of our society upon the phenomenon of audible speech.
Thank you. Hello, Mr. Matt, can I, Ma? It's the fellas. They're going to play baseball. Can I go with them?
All right, Jimmy.
You're right out, guys. Kid, maybe he'll play. We could use some more fellas. Hey, kid! Hey, you! Hey! Come on. Hey! Hey, it's you I'm talking to. Do you want to play some baseball? What's the matter? What are you blubbering about? We just want you to play some ball with us. You can play, can't you? Oh, nuts.
Of course Tommy can play baseball, but he doesn't know it. Nobody ever took the trouble to tell him. It's trouble to tell Tommy anything because he's deaf. He knows only what he sees. And unless someone takes the trouble to change it for him, he sees a hostile world, an impatient world, all too often an indifferent. The problems of the deaf in the hearing world are many and difficult, but they are not unsurmountable. Far too often, however, they are magnified by the suddenness with which the first confirmations of deafness may come. And finally, they do know their child is deaf. And to them, it is a pronouncement of doom. Why did this terrible thing have to happen to us?
If it's terrible, it will be you that make it so, not this child. There's no reason at all why he can't have a full, and happy, and constructive life. There are many agencies that can help you.
In a sense, these are among the more fortunate parents, for they have early come upon information that may well change the course of this child's life. They will learn that there are national agencies and many local bureaus that can provide the information and counsels they will need for training and handling their child. They will learn that they are far from alone in their problem, that in their own communities or close by, there are generally groups of parents of deaf children where each parent can draw knowledge and comfort from the experiences of the others. They learn also that there are schools devoted exclusively to the training of deaf children from nursery age on, and that for the time being, they must follow simple teaching and training techniques at home to assure a happy, well-adjusted child. To make him secure in the family group, comfortable in the neighborhood. When the child reaches the nursery school age of 2.5 to 3 years old, they may apply for his enrollment in one of many schools. For there are 300 to 400 schools throughout the country where a deaf child may go for training and education. Most of them under state supervision, many supported in whole or in part by state funds. The children whose training years we're about to watch are pupils of the Lexington School for the Deaf in New York City. And we're present on a big day in the life of 3-year-old Carol. For this day, she enters a new world and the dawning of a new life. She has been to the school before, of course. There was the day of her first visit with the simple preliminary testing that indicated her need to be here. There was the interview with the staff psychologist to learn from the parents the wounds that this child may have suffered in the hearing world and to devise the means of their healing. And just the day before, every factor of Carol's health was checked, because every aspect of her physical well-being has a bearing upon the course and content of her future training. And today she crosses the threshold. Outside this door, this child is a deaf child Once inside, this child is a child. To be given unto the care of those who understand her problems and are aware of her every need. This is to be your world, Carol. At least it is to be the very biggest part of the world you will know during the months to come. It frightens you now and confuses you, for it is strange, and fate has not made strangeness an easy thing for you to come upon. But there are understanding people here who will guide you along the paths that are strange. And you will find that it will be no hard task for you to live in this world, for it is designed for those who do not hear. Carol will find that there is more than teachers' help here. There is love and endless patience. She will find here, too, tender hearts of other Carols, other Tommies, other Marshas, with common problems and common understanding. In days to come, a new fabric of life will begin to weave for Carol. Strands of pleasant activity, secure environment grow stronger. Memories of strangeness begin to fade away. But from the moment of her entrance here, this will be a world of speech, words, always words. Words flood every action, every activity. Words that will become not sound, but of lips. Words that Carol will see, not hear. Drink your milk, Carol. Go wash your hands. Hang up your clothes. So begins the long, slow process, the accumulation of vocabulary, even before Carol is aware that there are such things as words. But much more quickly, Carol, you will learn that there are things you must and can do for yourself, and you will gain the inner strength and learn the satisfaction that comes with doing it. One day, maybe in about a month, when the strangeness has left your eyes and a sense of belonging has entered your heart, you will start the long road of communication with the hearing. Learning to speak, learning to read the lips. The process of learning starts with identification. So first we must learn to see the things we look at. A car is always a car. A ball is always a ball. These are the objects in the world around us. And an object may be pictured, so we learn to match object with picture. Then picture with picture. For our major learning experiences deal with the representations of things, not the things themselves. And always rewards for achievement. Flag, flower, an animal, a star. Which will it be, Carol? To make trying fun and to add another small experience to your world. All tutoring at the school is individual, as is all progress. Mike has been here a few months now and has made some progress on the road that Carol is just starting. Match object with object? That's a breeze for Mike. Match object with picture. Good boy. Training the eyes to see, refining perception, steadying concentration day after day. And always the essential probing into the wide gulf between total deafness and normal hearing. For deafness is seldom complete. Usually there is some degree of hearing, even though it may be very slight.
Can you find the airplane? That's right. Where's the car? That's right. Good boy, Mike.
In these earliest years, the use of color provides an added device to begin the teaching of audible speech. Mike will learn, as it is done day after day, to associate breath sounds with the color blue.
Mike, can you say... All right, let's try this one.
Audible sounds are associated with the color red, and Mike will learn to mimic the sounds by feeling in his own throat the vibration he feels in his teacher's throat.
Gug, 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 gug. Ga, ga, ga. Ga, ga. Gee, gee, gee.
And so the world of the deaf reaches out toward the world of the hearing. Slow, faltering steps at first, but nothing is hurried, and patience is seemingly inexhaustible. Each success is bought at the price of a dozen failures. Each advance, a priceless victory. Mike has also been fitted with a personal hearing aid, which he wears at all times, not because it necessarily gives him usable hearing, but because he is aware of sound. The aid serves to focus his attention. Just how much it will help him, there's still no knowing, but always the rule is use every aid, every device, every shred of value. Another aid in these early years is the child's personal picture book. This book is, in a sense, a reflection of the child. In this first year, it is merely a collection of paste-up papers with pictures of those objects which B can lip read, plus a few more, not too many, which she is learning.
B, can you find the picture of Mother? Where it is? Mother. You say Mother? Is Mother home? How about the picture of Daddy?
Here is the beginning of vocabulary, the links in all chains of communication, the building blocks in our structure of knowledge. First, objects, then simple ideas connected with those objects.
How about the picture of Daddy? There he is. Where is Daddy? Daddy's home. You find a picture of a baby? B, are you a baby?
B.
Are you a baby?
B.
You're not a baby, no. That's right.
B.
You're a big girl.
B.
B's a big girl.
And our big girl will play at learning and learn while playing the beginnings of things she must know to live in the big outside world as well.
There. We're going to pack the suitcase, put it all back in, pretend we're going home. All right? Well, look, let's put the shoes in first. Let's put the shoes in. That's right, good girl. Put one over here and one over here. Now let's put the beautiful dress in, right? How about that beautiful dress? There it is. B, let's fold it up. Should we fold it up? Let's fold up the dress. Put it in. That's right. Put it in the suitcase. How about the overalls? Where are the overalls?
There is no time schedule to this kind of learning. It is a never-ending road, and the pace of travel varies with each child. And within each child is affected by a score of factors, known and unknown. And among those factors, B's residual hearing may play an important part.
Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. What's that? What's the snapper? That's right, it was the horn. All right, now turn around. What was that?
Whatever sounds B can learn and interpret in the world about her will ease the road that she will travel. The training of the deaf is largely a matter of stepping stones rather than milestones, and the children in nursery class 2 have made important progress along the road. In this period, as a rule, they learn at a faster pace than hearing children. Distractions are fewer, concentrative ability has been more highly developed. Yet, in those very distractions, hearing children build their reservoir of potential knowledge, which these children do not have, and for which later, as you will see, they must pay a price. But now they move along hearteningly, happily. In dozens of small ways, the child begins to feel part of a group, stimulated by other children. One of those ways is here in the tutoring room, where at this stage 2 children are frequently brought in at the same time.
Puppy's sound asleep. And that's all. No more. Pat, will you get the books? You get your book and get Susan's book.
Again, a personal book is built for each child, a manual of what is being learned, a guidepost to further learning. A more elaborate book than before, as the child's concepts are enlarged, with key words printed in to expose the child to the idea of reading and writing, and to start the process of learning the sounds of the alphabet.
Can you tell me what this is? That's right. And what's that?
Flower.
Yes, you have a purple flower. And what's this? Oh, is it blue? Well, maybe so. It's a blue flower. I guess it is. And what's that?
Fly.
That's a fly, and the fly goes. Pat, could you tell me what that is? That's a flower. That's a pretty pink flower. Pat, let's try that again. Can you say flower?
Flower.
A little more breath. Flower.
Flower.
It's better. And a little more breath. Flower.
Flower.
Make it pretty.
Make it a pretty voice. Make it pleasant to listen to. Make it easy to understand. Here is the one great heartache for the deaf, the almost impossible admonition. The miracle is that speech never heard should be learned at all.
Very good. Once more. Flower.
Flower.
That's better. Flower.
Flower.
Very good. You forgot your L that time. Flower.
Flower.
That's better.
It takes more than vocal cords to speak, more than hearing to hear. It takes wanting to and trying. It takes a stimulated mind and a willingness to work. It takes a relationship between child and teacher that makes the child anxious to please. It takes love and patience and deep understanding. Understanding of the problems of the deaf and the problems of the child.
the earphone to your ear. That's the girl. Put your hand up and make a fist.
Though the child will work more and more within a group, training and progress will remain individual. So now, from time to time, as responses become more dependable, accurate audiometer tests are made to determine the degree of usable hearing.
That's all right. Fine. All right. Now I want you to put the earphone to your other ear.
We're growing up. We're 5 years old and attending the preschool class. Some pretty important advances here. Just sitting still and sharing the teacher's time with other children is one. Learning about writing is another. Not actually learning to write, but that there is such a thing as writing and preparing for the simple mechanics of it. So first, we'll write lollipops, a circle for the candy and a line for the stick. A circle and a line. A circle and a line. And for something to write about today, we'll have a news item. Leslie is going to visit his home tomorrow. What will you do at home, Leslie? Tell us. What will you do?
What will you do? Oh, you're going to play with Diana, your baby sister, Mother. I will play. I will play with Diana. Good boy. Where will you go? Will you go to the zoo? Will you go to the movies? Will you go to the park? Where will you go? You and Diana, where will you go? We will go.
We will go to the bank.
Leslie will play with Diana. This is more than a news item. It is the first important opening into an understanding of the complete word. Until now, they have been mere fragments formed by the lips. Actually, they are still fragments to these children, represented by those hieroglyphics on the board. But as the alphabet becomes more meaningful to them, the words will fill out. It's a long, slow climb, but they will accomplish it. How about it, Carol? Does that seem like an awful lot of work just to get ready to go into first grade? It is a lot of work, but your teachers will help to make it fun, and you'll do it. So will Mike. So will Bea. So will all the others who started out with you. Some of you will do it better than others. Some will do it faster. But you'll have that all-important training in these all-important early years. When you get to first grade, you'll have a foundation to build on and a pattern of learning to help you build. First grade. First of the long and difficult steps to the 3 R's. And though there's no big change in our pattern of learning, we have taken that very important step from preschool to grade school.
Harvey, will you start reading?
Come to
Joan?
come
Bobby?
come
Pat?
I see.
Christy?
16.
At certain times along the road, the deaf child encounters wholly new and mystifying concepts, things they never even dreamed of before, because they've never heard them as a hearing child does, and they meet them here for the first time. Things like pronouns.
Harvey has a new shirt. See, this nice new white shirt is very nice. And look, Harvey has a new tie, too. Isn't that a beautiful tie? It's a very nice tie. I'm going to write about that, too. What shall I write? I don't say Harvey, Harvey. Say the same thing. That means Harvey.
They've learned the lip movements that mean Harvey. Now they must learn that he, his, him may also mean Harvey. Joan may be she or her or hers. Harvey and Joan together may be they, them, or theirs. It's quite confusing, especially when there's no sound that goes with it, only the movement of the lips. But they learn it. It takes time, but they learn it.
Beth?
Mother went to her church and she brought me a new pair of shoes.
Second grade, we're learning about arithmetic. And for us, arithmetic also means language and speech and lip reading.
Mary's mother made 8 cookies for her one day, and Mary ate 4 of them. How many cookies did she have left?
4.
All right, Donna, you come and show us that story.
One day, Mary's mother made 8 cookies.
Oh, show me.
Mary ate 4 of them. There were 4 cookies left.
Can you show me? All right, well, show me.
Mary ate 4 cookies. There were 4 cookies left.
All right, can you write that little word for me? Now, I have something. You don't know whether I bought it, or whether I found it, or whether someone gave it to me. Now, I want you to ask me some questions about it, and then you'll find out what I have.
I have a question. How many things are there?
9.
I have a question. Are they for everybody?
Yes, they're for everybody.
I have a question.
Susan,
Did somebody gave it to you?
Susan said, did someone gave it to you? Is that right?
Verbs.
No.
Whoever invented verbs was no friend of the deaf. It's a problem for the hearing, 10 times compounded for the deaf.
Did someone gave
No, that's right. Now tell me again.
Did someone give them to you?
Third grade. And whatever else we're studying, the emphasis is always on speech and language.
We have learned about these states. And now we're going to learn about this state. Do you know the name of that state, Elaine?
No, the Dakota.
Now I'm going to tell all of you things about North Dakota. It is a big state. There are no mountains. There are many flat lands. There are large farms. Did you know that the farms were big in North Dakota, Rosalind?
No, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. not easy to understand, was it? Not too pleasant to listen to. Let's recognize this problem for what it is. It will never be easy to understand, never pleasant to listen to. Yet this is a tremendous accomplishment for the deaf. To learn sounds that they have never heard.
I didn't know that.
And then that.
That sounds much better.
4th grade, and the linked journey of knowledge and words goes on. Every vocabulary gap blocks the path to knowledge. Find the gaps and fill them in. That process never stops.
Now let's go on with the story. Anne liked to imagine things and make up wonderful stories. Usually when she told these stories to Philip, he would believe her until he saw his father's eyes twinkling. Now twinkling is the new word we've just had. Is there another new word in the paragraph? Jeanette.
Imagine.
Imagine, that's a new word. What does imagine mean? Dagmar.
I think imagine means wondering.
You think it means wondering? Well, that's pretty near. I think it means to form a picture in your mind. Can you use imagine in a sentence for me?
I actually imagine that I am a princess.
Dagmar likes to imagine herself being a princess. Who can think of another sentence using the word imagine? Judy?
I can't imagine that a dog can talk.
You can't imagine that a dog could talk. Well, I can't imagine that either.
5th grade. And now there's the very normal problem of self-consciousness to contend with. We don't like to say that we don't understand. So teacher uses a funny story to test us.
When Daniel Webster was a little boy, his teacher asked all the children in the class to put out their hands to see if they were clean. Daniel Webster knew his hands were very dirty. So he wiped one hand on his trousers and put the other behind his back. Teacher looked at his hand and she said, "A very dirty hand. I shall have to punish you if I don't find one that's dirtier." He put out the other hand. Don't you and Marion understand the story?
No.
Well, I'll tell you again. Daniel Webster was a very great...
7th grade. And in the brightness of these sessions, we almost forget that for these children, there is little or no sound to guide them. Only the movement of the lips.
When was the UN organized? Barbara?
It was organized in October 1945.
Who can tell me why the UN was organized? Juanita, you try.
The United Nations was organized to help the nations of the world work together for peace.
8th grade. And now we're young ladies pressing on to a milestone. And thanks to good training and loving guidance, eager for what lies ahead.
What about my voice? I've been working on it. Is it any better?
Yes, it is better. But what made you ask that?
Because there will be hearing boys and girls in my class next year, and I want them to like me.
The hearing boys and girls will like you. Don't worry about it. Just have patience. I know you've all heard this before, but it's very important. The one big thing in the relationship between the hearing and the deaf is patience. And as you well know, most hearing people don't have much patience. so you have to have it. And you can accept that responsibility gracefully. Because you know, you have an advantage in your contacts with the hearing. You understand their problem. They don't understand yours.
So they have come the full circle. From happy children, unafraid of the world because unaware of the obstacles before them, to well-poised young women, unafraid of the world because they know the obstacles. And to this point, at least, they have overcome them. Well, Carol, that's it. There's a lot more of it, of course, for you'll do a lot of living on your road to the hearing world. It may be that we'll have a chance to visit with you from time to time, to see your progress along that road, whether it be here or elsewhere. Maybe a visit with Mike, too, and with Bea, and with Pat and Susan. Good luck, kids. You're in good hands, and there's a good life to be won, and dearly to be treasured. There are brighter hearts for those who love you. They have brought here a deaf child, and they take home a child.